check another story, this time in the United Kingdom, where Nigeria's former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Diezani Alison Madueke, is said to have asked for prayers over an alleged multi-million pounds bribery and corruption case instituted against her by the UK National Centre Crime Agency. The former minister appeared before a judge along with two others during the plea and trial preparation hearing last week. According to her lawyer, Diezani is anxious for the case to be heard. She wants the case to be over so that she can move on with her life. Madueke, who is due in court in February next year, is alleged by the NCA to have benefited in cash and kind for the awards of multi-million pounds worth of oil and gas contracts while serving in former President Goodluck Jonathan's administration before 2010 and 2015. Well, Diezani's case is coming as the presidency announced on Friday that France will return $150 million looted by former Nigerian military leader General Sani Abacha. The announcement was made following a visit by the Minister of Europe and Foreign Affairs of France, Catherine Colonna, who said the repatriation followed the completion of legal processes. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commended France for the decision. I mean, this was trending over the weekend, Rufai. I mean, because they would just say General Sani Abacha is the ancestor that keeps giving $150 million. This is what we need at this point. Let's just keep getting our money back. Nigeria needs prayers more than anything as well. Go ahead.
I mean, so a couple of things. When I saw the story about somebody needing prayers as regards a corruption case, the truth is, we have built a society where we have a culture of too much religiosity, which is not a bad thing. But the question is, even when we are being tried for things that we could have prevented. So if she's asking for prayers, you'll have wondered, why did she pray that God should not make her in such a position where this case will happen in the first place? So why we have a society where you are being, indicted for corruption, where you could have avoided? And this is not the only case. They've had many cases against the Nigerian authorities. So it goes back to the culture we've built. We're very religious, but the question is, do we believe in God? Can we really obey the commandments of God despite the fact that we claim to be religious? Because this is the only country that people claim to be religious, but a lot of atrocities go on. People steal, they take stolen money, they go to church and raise up holy hands in one accord. And we collect that money. And we think we're fooling God. Concerning the Abacha case, and it's good to link it, the question is, why have we built a society where we have a culture of impunity? That those that were indicted at some point in the Abacha case many years ago are still living large today. So we've built a society where it looks as though that you have to be corrupt to make it in Nigeria. There are many people that were mentioned as regards this Abacha loot and theft that are serving in government in many capacities. Somebody once wrote an article on VO News Engine, and he asked a very question Samuel Oluwagbemini. He said, so what if Abacha had not died? That means all of this wealth would be in a private hand, and he'll still be able to administer all of these monies. Secondly, he asked, what was very porous about our system that a leader could steal this much at the time that Nigeria was bleeding? Until today, we don't know the amounts. The amount returned thus far is in the range of $3 or $4 billion by one person already.
Insane.
So, apart from this, how about the other top military brass guys that stole during this time, but the money is still held privately? And since we return to democracy, how about people that keep stealing in the system, that the money is still being held privately? So, Oji, like I always say, culture will build strategy for breakfast. See, we've built a culture that supports corruption, that supports stealing, and it's as if you're respected based on how much you steal. But the question is, I think it's time for us to really examine the heads of our leaders. If it's not a level of madness, what do you need this amount of humongous wealth for? In Abacha's case, he finally died and left it behind.
Somebody once told me, nobody ever remembers a wealthy person. You only remember those that have created impact.
And that's
always
about
remember
life.
that.
So, well, I think it's a clarion call on all of us to get our heads examined. Absolutely. But as we're saying all of this, Audrey, some people are still stealing. That when you hear the revelation of what they've stolen, you'll be shocked.
Well said.
But it's also the system and the country that supports it because of our culture.
Issue about Abacha, when you said the ancestor that keeps giving.
Yeah.
Now, at the initial point, it was estimated that the Abacha loot would be around $5 billion.
Can you imagine that?
One man taking $5 billion out of Nigeria. Do you know what that $5 billion could do? And we've been repatriating, we've been getting back the looted funds since 1998 when Abacha died. There was a $300 million that came from the British dependency of Jersey. There was another $20 billion that came from the UK. There was a $321 million that came from Switzerland. There have also been loot that have been repatriated from Germany, from Liechtenstein. There is a place called Liechtenstein. At the time, they sent money back to Nigeria. Now France is repatriating $150 million. Only God knows where this Abacha Abacha loot is still operating. Maybe by the time my grandchildren begin to enter primary school, they too will be hearing that Abacha loot is coming. However, one guy went to court in July asking the Tinubu administration to tell us the exact amount in total that Nigeria has collected back from the Abacha loot, so that there is accountability. Otherwise, we'll just keep hearing these figures. We need to know how much was recovered and what has been done with the returned loot.